My name is Susan, and this is my son Shannon, my youngest, a bundle of joy of the family. This is my eldest son, Sean. My second son has joined ship. This is the film director, Mr. Jojo D'Souza. We have come up with a short film on the story of my son. It's true story of my son. And after that we came up with a book. We came up with a book, A Silent Echo, which is written by Mr. Jojo D'Souza. And then we came up with a Tiatr. So on the 19th of this month, Ravindra Bhavan Hall, 7:30, we are having the show.
The idea came to us long back, 2010 or 12. Ravi Maka met and he said कि मुझे सनाचे story also. He's interested in acting. So from there we started small things, and we actually wrote full 2 hours script on his son's life. But sadly there were no takers because commercial value nasla. Then Jan last year I was not well. I was in hospital and I couldn't escape Ravi's calls. So he came to the hospital and met me and said, okay, now you're sitting here for 1 month, let's do something about Shannon's story. So when he gave me the story, he told me talk to Susan, and that is how the idea came, and I started looking at the script and I said, let's make a short film. But because I was bedridden at that time, my daughter had taken leave and she had come down, so she said, I'll direct it. And she's been working in Mumbai, and then I have a team with us, Rajkumari, myself, my producers are Deepak and Chandan Bandekar, who own our studio. So we sort of tied up and we made a short film called The Silent Echo. The story basically was on the life of Shannon and how he was declared a stillborn child and then how he survived the journey. Magir, as I was still lying and the film was done, shooting was done in about 8 days or 7 days, we finished the shoot. I took that script and I said, why not write a book? Because I just at that time started writing poetry books and publishing them. So after I did that, we published this book called The Silent Echo. There was some features, like something that they had gone to Bangalore or Belgaum or certain places. They filmed and we couldn't show it. So we decided, let's show it in a book. So in the book I had more details, I put photographs of the family. After the book, then we were talking to Antoinette, and Antoinette D'Souza, she was supposed to come but couldn't make it today. I said, Antoinette, if you and I get the same 3 actors, Salil and Mikael, the boy, why don't you do something for the commercial audience? And that is how the Tiatr idea is. Sadly, there were no big names and stars in the Tiatr, but a lot of people, whoever seen the Tiatr, has said it's beautifully done, very well scripted, nice songs. So that is how the whole thing came, and there is this new media called transmedia which everyone is talking about, which is you take one story and then you make it into a film, a book, and he's even thought of a game once called Save the Baby, which we said maybe, if you do some medical, that you play the game, you put the medical things correct, baby survives. If it is wrong, your procedure is wrong, baby doesn't survive. Game that has levels. So like this, the whole idea and the journey started. And we are happy to say now our book is now in over 150 countries available today. I just got a call from a cousin in the US who has picked it up. And Tiatr is really entertaining. It's got the whole comedy, it's got your story without losing the main focus, which is Shannon. So the idea also of all of us tying up together, because see, they don't say this on people's face, but they are going through a lot. I know how Ravi calls me. I think I keep asking him, who you call more, your wife or me? There are about 30 to 40 calls in a day whenever he can call, only asking about the story, about the film. Are people coming out to support? Because it's a very rare case. There are like the original story was called 1 in a million, because these type of things happen to one child in a million. So that is how the whole journey started, and I do want people to come and enjoy the Tiatr, watch the Tiatr, and at the same time see how you all can help the family. That is important. Already, thank you to Adrian and Savio for coming on board and really, helping us to get everything together. So it's a free show on the 19th of Jan at 7:30 p.m. And Ravindra Bhavan has sponsored the show for us.
Susan, actually, what is the story?
Story of
About
son.
Sharon.
Yeah, he was actually, when he was in the womb, his heartbeat used to stop. But here the doctors didn't come to know. They used to think that the baby is on the opposite side. So every time I was told the opposite side. And then one fine day they told me I'll have to abort or operate and get him out, because it's no point keeping the child, And a lot of complications, this, that. But we were not ready to give up. We didn't give up on him. And then when I just started the 7th month, so almost 2 days they couldn't find the heartbeat. So then doctor said, Susan, we have lost the child. And since I was on bed rest, doctors to come home to check over me and all that. So then doctor said, Susan, nothing can be done. 2 days, there's no heartbeat. So if you keep, you can get infection and we can lose you also. And first of all, I was told my chances were 60-40. But still, I couldn't give up on him. So we kept, and then the day I was thinking that he passed away, they operated on me. And after the surgery also, he was totally blue, totally this thing. So when they were taking him, I told doctor, last this thing, you just give the baby into my hands. Just praying to God and hugging him, this thing. Suddenly he held my finger and he kicked me. So then I told doctor, I said, doctor, he's kicked. So they immediately started. Then 8 days he was there in the hospital, but then his health kept on deteriorating. And then on the 8th, they told me, Susan, no chances at all. We'll put him in Harshit Kamat's hospital and we'll see. And then almost a month I was there with him in Harshit Kamat's. He was kept in the ICU. A doctor had given me a room and everything. And since I had no help, my other 2 children also were with me. And I had a big support of King's School. They used to come to my room door, pick them up, and then after school bring and leave them back.
Were going to school at that time.
They were going to school. And then bring and leave them back to the hospital. And as days, we just kept on praying, every day blood tests, this, that. They said no chances, no chances. Suddenly out of the blue, after a month, doctor said, Susan, things are changing. His blood report is come good today. So then after another few days, after another 8 days extra, then we were discharged. But then off and on, hospitalized. But nobody knew what the truth is about him, because they couldn't diagnose, or they didn't know what is happening or what is happening to him. So I started finding the difference between my other 2 children and him. So I kept telling doctor, I said, I don't find something normal in him. Suddenly he's gone to sleep just like a dead body, where no feed, nothing is taken. I have to check again and again to see whether he's dead or alive. The heartbeat is very faint. I cannot this thing. Then after 24 hours, he's to pass his motions, urine, whatever, take the feed and all that. So till then we couldn't this thing. As he was growing also, I found a lot of differences between them and him. But I kept, the doctors that I knew, I kept asking them, telling them, what is wrong with this child? Something is wrong with him. Then when I told my husband, he said, no, he's looking normal, everything, nothing is wrong, this, that. I said, no, there is something wrong. So then I started investigations on my own. I did echo, that came very good. So then I came to Harshit, then Harshit Kamat guided me to Setu. I went to Setu, then they told me there are a lot of complications. Every day I had to take him. Then I really didn't know where to go, what to do, which is the right doctor. I really didn't know anything. And then he wanted to go for skating. He used to just keep crying, I want to do skating. Where and he was little on the fatter side, so nobody was ready to take him, saying that this to laugh. So then I requested the school, but since he was a premature, my family, my Ravi's family, they were not at all. So I said no, let him. I said like he used to get a different type of a joy, face expression when he used to see those kids. So I put him for skating. Within a month, he learnt within 8 to 10 days, and within a month, he won the silver medal.
So Vijay sir, they say gifted.
Yes.
Was the
That was the gold medal.
That is
That was
gold medal. Yeah, before that
And then he
silver.
started winning medals in skating. His problem is if he falls, Pottavi, anything happens to him, he doesn't heal properly. Like shooting at a time when we were shooting one thing, he got so excited because we told him you recreate the skating scene. He skated and he went straight into the bougainvillea tree.
That
He forgot how
skates
to
gave
stop.
way.
That I
And there was a mark, and that mark is still there. Even in the shoot, that mark didn't go for it. He still has the mark. No.
Yeah.
It went.
Okay, Shannon, what do you have to say?
Well, not much. Just that I've had my hard times, but then slowly it started getting fun because I used to get to roam to other places and all that, and then I used to get to meet new people also. So it used to be fun. And then I remember still on my first surgery. The surgery happened and all that, and then after the surgery, it kept me in the this ICU for a while because there was some problem and all. So one sister came, she came with one balloon, so I started playing with her, throwing the balloon to her, and she used to pass it to me. Then suddenly a group of doctors come and they start staring at the monitor and in shock. Okay, now I'm not this, I'm bindasly playing with the sister. So then that was
What the monitors were saying?
I don't know, I didn't
No, what happened is doctors also didn't know his condition, like no. So I was told that just half a day they'll keep him in the ICU and then he'll be brought out. Go to see when he was put in the ICU, his heart rate started shooting so much. Okay, doctors thought something is wrong with the machinery. They removed that, they put the other one. Like thrice, 3 machineries were changed. Nothing. Then they brought the technicians. So technicians also were listening us. They were surprised how it can be this, that. Then doing all the 5 days, 6 days and 5 nights I remained in the ICU with him, and he needs that skin to skin touch. So like when he was awake, I could leave his hand. Asleep I had to hold, otherwise he gets very hyper, then walks out of the thing, and also I had to, and it is total standing. There are no stools, no chairs, nothing. One bed has 1 doctor, 2 nurses. There's also 24 hours standing job. So those
so to stand next to him.
6 days and 5 nights I had to stand. I was totally swelling. So even to go to the washroom only when he was awake. Then they came to know that it is his problem only that the heart rate is shooting very high. When the technicians came, then a lot of doctors were brought and they examined this, that, and they said this is his condition. Like, no, we cannot, like nothing is, the machinery is not faulty. He is faulty.
Okay, Shannon, continue.
So then, and once also we were at home. This is a few long time ago. So we were getting ready to go to sleep, and we went to sleep. And then suddenly I get up. I'm like, I'm in the car and I'm full sweating and all that. And I asked Mama if we are going somewhere or something. And then they take me out of. What had happened was that I used to sleepwalk when I was small.
The first time when we took him to, he was selected to go to Belgium for competition. So as he was, so as he was on the ring there, the heat was too much there. So every time he started falling, but falling in a unique way, where the hands were going behind feet and just falling like that with his face down. So every time he went, he kept falling. So my husband was continuously calling. So I told him, so and so thing is happening. He said, what time you'll finish? I said, late night. Just like as soon as you this thing, don't stay. You leave for Goa and directly take him to doctor. So then the same thing I did, we took him to doctor. Morning 4 we reached. I took him to the hospital, all that. There they did his ECG. Go to see, my elder son was with me. He's telling me, Mama, it looks like small, this to call him small. Looks like small, has no heart at all. No, the lines were just coming straight. For this, it comes like, so, just coming straight. So then I asked them, I said, is anything wrong with my son? They said, doctor will explain. So then he was taken to the hospital, and then they said it is syncope, this, that. Then they said we will put a pacemaker for him. They were supposed to take him for a surgery. Then just Dr. Johnson DeCosta, the senior most neurosurgeon from GMC, is a good friend of ours. So for every silly thing I used to contact him. So I told him, I said, Doctor, so and so thing. And he said, yeah, we have to do something. And then I got prepared. Now I'm leaving for the hospital with my other 2 children also. Till then I got a call from Dr. Johnson saying that, Susan, no, if the surgery is done, if pacemaker is put, in the end he may just land just a vegetable on bed. So he said, you do one thing, since you have packed your things, and just go to Bangalore, go to Fortis. So I told him, Doctor, I don't know anything, my husband is not around. He said, you'll manage, I'll help you out, and God is with you. And with that same bag and my kids, all 3 of them, I left for Bangalore. And then first 2-3 years continuously, test after test, like every 8 days I had to be there. So they also didn't know. Then this thing, it is tachycardia. Okay, what happens, as he's talking, walking, his heart stops. So within that certain seconds, if it doesn't restart, then the brain starts giving signal, and if it doesn't start, then he falls. Then we know it is undead. Falls means what? Like totally his life is going out of the body, totally blue and totally lifeless. And then slowly he comes back. So then he was from childhood on the bulkier side. So then doctor said, see, whatever, God has a reason to make him like that. Now if he was thin and skinny, the minute he falls, you would have just lifted him up and you would have lost him. Now since you cannot lift him, you leave him like that, and slowly he comes back. So it was like that. So for earlier what used to happen, he couldn't play. He couldn't play because the fluid from the spine to the brain, that also in between it breaks when the heat is too much. So then he wants liters of water, even 2-liter bottle, once he puts for his mouth, till the last drop finishes, he'll put the bottle down. It is like that. Even for school, always, whenever I brought the water bottle, the biggest one he used to take, like 2 liters or 1 liter. So that time we also didn't know what his problem was and what. And as they were doing the investigations, then from one doctor to other, from here to there to there, I used to just...
Is there a name that...
There are a number of names.
Number of names. Now,
Generally, what is it referred to?
He doesn't have 1 and 2 this thing. I've got doctor's letter also here. He's got multiple disorders.
He's got multiple disorders. Like Klein-Levinson syndrome is sleeping beauty disorder, where a child can sleep for hours or days also, and then just get up without any as if you are in an induced coma, but you're not. Then he's got tachycardia. Then he's got, I remember those 3 vegetables of the book that I was writing.
These are the number of disorders he's got.
About 10 of them, no?
Yeah.
8 to
So
10.
then what happens, see, a little of autism, a little of dyslexia, then lots of things he's got. Then he is a visual child. Okay? You tell him something orally, after some time he forgets it. Okay? When he was small, if I had to sit with him for studies, like that one answer, that whole answer I had to draw pictures. Okay? And then explain to him. Once it goes, it will not come out. Like that. But
another thing also with him is he's got an amazing sense of humor. He's quick-witted. So at no point, and then he got a distinction in the 10th standard.
he
He passed with a distinction, that too at a ICSE school, King's. So I found that very impressive.
Hi, I'm Shannon Fernandes, and this Tiatr is based on my life story. It's been hard having a disease like this, and also trying to be normal, but it's also kind of fun. You get to learn new things about yourself, and and for the treatment I get to go to different places also, thanks to this. And I've had our 2 operations which went very well, and this entire Tiatr is based on how I've lived a happy life and the troubles my family took to get me into this life also. And I would love if you all come and try and watch this Tiatr, and you will love it a lot.